Hi, everybody. This is one of our favorite things to do, the live Q&A session with me and my guide, Sanaya. And it's always fun because I have a member of my team to help me. And I say, who's available? Who wants to help? And Christy Majors is the first one to say, I want to do it. So here's Christy. Hi, Christy.
Hi, everybody. Glad to be here with all of you.
And what's funny is she's the one that edits my podcast and edits the videos. And so she's going to be editing herself. Christy, you do such a great job of choosing just the right videos to put out midweek. So I hope you all, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, you will, because hopefully you'll feel the energy today. Our purpose in doing these Q&A sessions is to hear from the spirit world, their take on our lives here, what comes afterwards, spirituality, metaphysics, mediumship. Christy's going to read the questions from those of you tuning in on YouTube Live. Those of you on Facebook Live, I'm sorry we can't access your comments or your questions, but thanks for joining us. So I'm going to tune into the questions with my guides and see how the answers flow. If you see my lip twitch kind of funny at any time, that's the guide saying, we got you. Trust us, we're here, go ahead. But I have to tell you, Christy, you know this. I just finished doing a reading a couple hours ago. I hadn't done a reading in a couple weeks because of a crazy travel schedule. And it was just one of those readings like we pray for. It was a couple with a daughter across the veil. And I knew she was going to come in because she literally had been poking me in the shoulder. That's a story I'm going to share in Tuesday night's live monthly connection webinar. I do these every month, and it's this Tuesday, November 4th. And it's just pretty phenomenal how that happened. Anyway, but here we are. And so I know that Spirit's right here. Let's get going. Christy, what do you think?
Okay, let's get started. Please put your questions in the chat and try to make them not so personal. Try to make them more general so that everyone can benefit from them. So here's our first question. It is, hi, can we have any say in who our guides are and which people from our current incarnation who are now in spirit can take part in our spiritual development?
Yes, you have a say because we're souls and the soul makes the choices. When we tune into the soul and let the, okay, just got corrected already. Let me put this better and really settle into this. Life is all about choice, the guides say. And your choices can either come from limited human awareness or from the soul's expanded state. When we align with the soul and choose from there, that's when life truly flows. As to the question about who your guides are, you, the soul, chose that before you came into a body. So they know you better than you know your human self right now. So that choice was made. But what guides you have now, that's going to be a shared decision at the soul level. But you can ask for new guides at any time, such as if you're in a new job, ask for a new job guide or helper, and you'll get temporary guides. As for asking who the specific guide is, that's just like everything in life. We can ask from this level, but again, when you realize it's a more narrowed view than those who have the bigger picture, the much better way to ask is, Spirit, send me the best guide for my new job, or Spirit, send me the best guide for this new relationship I'm in, that kind of thing. And trust those with the higher perspective to send that guide. As for your loved ones in spirit, they're on their own continuous journey across the veil, but they're going to be guiding you. And I see this symbol when I do a reading, and I know that means I'm guiding you now. But do they become our full-time guides? No, because their story, their growth continues across the veil. And sometimes that includes helping us here. Christy, your daughter Tess is across the veil. Do you feel that she's a guide or a helper, or you're just in it together, or what?
I definitely feel like she's a guide and feel like she's in charge most of the time. And I've put her in charge in my development of my mediumship. She's the one in charge of who comes in and what messages I get, and helps me understand the messages that I'm getting too.
Awesome. You know, did you ever meet my friend Brenda?
Before
she passed? You might have met her after she passed. She surprised me by becoming my mediumship guide for several years. And now she stepped back, and it confused me why she stepped back. But I just learned the other day, and haven't shared this with anybody, that she stepped back on purpose, just like my stepdaughter Susan didn't show up for a few years because she didn't want me relying on a guide in mediumship. That connection is direct, which I found interesting.
Mm,
I can see that you and Tess, why would you ever break that bond, right? Mother-daughter. So that may not change for you. But Brenda says, I'm right here. She's always right here, but she doesn't need to hang on to that story. Yeah,
yeah.
interesting.
And I also understand now it's one of the ways we continue our relationship and work with each other, which
Yeah.
is awesome for me.
Beautiful. And for all of you listening, Christy, you didn't really train as a medium. You're not a practicing medium, but you have a stunningly clear connection with your daughter and other spirits.
Yeah. It just keeps opening up. And I think obviously working with you and working with your videos almost on a daily basis is just, you've been a mentor to me and taught me so much through your videos. So
yeah. And
be sure and subscribe on YouTube and learn what I'm learning.
well, it's true, because she picks content from my monthly connection webinars from a year or two ago, and she'll put little snippets on. So I guess, yeah, being steeped in that every day would definitely help. All right. Good question, so thank you.
Here's the next one. This is from Jill Cooper. It says, a friend uses cannabis every day and says it increases his awareness and is like a spiritual practice. What does Sanaya say about drug use and spiritual awareness?
Oh, wow. The clearest possible connection is direct and without any influence on the physical body. Get to know that connection as if you had no body now, and trust it, for someday you will have no body and all will open up. But in the meantime, can you enter an altered state without altering it with drugs? That is the question. We are not passing judgment on drug use, but we do prefer that you came into this body with the filters set as they are, with the goal of the soul learning to bypass those filters in a natural way. So do play with your substances as you will, but know that a direct and unadulterated connection will always be the purest and most reliable kind. Okay. There you go. Straight from Sanaya.
Yeah, I can tell.
Mhm.
Okay.
I just will tell you all, that was a direct channeled answer, eyes open. I look to the side so that I'm not distracted by looking at Christy or the camera. I can tune into the guides like that. So when you see me do that, that's direct channeling. Otherwise, I'm their voice. What's the difference between channeling and mediumship? Is channeling is a direct connection, and when you hear the words, that's coming straight from spirit. In mediumship, it's a form of channeling, but we are the voice for those. We're the interpreters. Yeah. And in channeling, the interpretation gets out of the way. It's straight and direct.
Nice.
Okay.
All right. This is kind of a logistical question. Will Suzanne have a YouTube meditation that incorporates the Hara and the Bless Me method?
You know, Christy, you and I talked about the fact that I should do some live guided meditations once a month. So we will do that. That's going to be our goal for the December one. And I want to tell you all right now, mark your calendars for December 21st. It's World Meditation Day, and I'm doing a very special event. Awakening Through Silence is the name of the event. We're going to put an email out about it. So if you're on my email list, which you can sign up on my website, you'll get all the details and the link. I'm having a special guest, Marcy Shimoff, New York Times bestselling author and expert on happiness, one of the Chicken Soup for the Soul authors as well. She's going to talk to us for a few minutes. Then I'm going to talk about the value of setting aside silence to connect with spirit, and I will lead you all on a meditation on World Meditation Day. But yes, in December, one of our Sunday podcasts will be a live one where we combine my new Hara method. We'll talk about that in a minute, later. And the Bless Me method, I'll guide you through it for an awesome deep connection where you can connect with a guide or angels or your own loved ones across the veil. So yes, we'll pick a date with Christy once we get off the air and we'll make that happen. I have meanwhile, some great guests coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. Okay. This is from Desert Rose. If a baby transitions as a baby, will they be a baby across the veil? Or are souls fully grown irrespective of chronological age?
The answer to that wonderful question is yes and yes. The soul is timeless. Our souls, you as a soul, take on this story in a body that continues across the veil without a body. So I think immediately to my stepdaughter, Susan, who was 6 months pregnant with a baby boy. When we had a reading, my husband Ty and I, with our very first medium, Sophie Burnham, she said, and this young woman is bringing with her a little baby boy who she wants to introduce to you. What more evidence could we want than that Susan was right there? But the thing is, he would now be 18 years old. And I'm sure that if we tuned in now, he might immediately show up as a baby to another medium so that we'd say, oh, that's Susan's child. But yet, is he continuing that story across the veil? That's up to his soul. Does it serve any purpose? Susan and her son Liam both know who they are as souls. And here she is. Oh, she says, we just twinkle together like little stars. And so he's not really an 18-year-old and she's not 40-something years old now. They're just these beautiful lights. But like I said, if they go to a medium, they're going to show up in a way that we would recognize them. But okay, so then the question is, what happens when we cross the veil? We're going to see Susan as we remember her, and we're going to see Liam as a baby, and then we'll all become twinkling lights, unless we decide to continue playing our roles for the joy of it. Right? But you will recognize your loved ones as you know them, because the soul can create any aspect of our story at any time for the growth and the joy and the love of it.
Beautiful. I love thinking about them as twinkling lights.
That's beautiful. So you would see Tess, however it's going to serve both of you best. You know, I know right now that I won't need to see Susan as in her body, as a Marine, or however I remember her. I will know her at the soul level, and we'll just merge as these lights. I can feel it.
Yeah. I love that. Okay, let's move on. What do you do if no one seems to be coming through when you're conducting mediumship with a client?
I trust spirit implicitly. In the past, when I was a baby medium, I would panic. I'm not getting anything. What if I don't get anything? And then the human side says, what are they going to think about me? You know, first you panic because you want to do well, and then you worry about the other people. That's the initial stages. Then longer, when you realize it's not about you, it's about serving spirit. Then you feel disappointed that you're letting people down. So this is the progression. And then as you grow in mediumship, you come to realize that everything happens for a purpose. Even when you don't have a good connection, there's a reason. Number one thing you do is do not anywhere unless you're absolutely positive it's you. I was not feeling well the other day and tried to do a reading and couldn't get a connection. So I rescheduled for the next day. I felt sorry for this couple who were so eager, but I said, look, we have to try again. The next day we tried again, and there was their son. And he said, after we established a really good connection, he said to me, it was like a gray cloud around you. I just couldn't get through it. So I knew that was me. But maybe sometimes there's some spiritual growth that your client or sitter needs to go through. And I have never in doing these readings since 2009, have I ever had a spirit not want to come through. And so There's usually a spiritual reason or an energetic reason. So you just don't panic, don't have to put blame, and try not to judge it. Those are all ego things, and it's the soul that makes a connection in mediumship. So when we just tune into this soul, there's that trust, there's that love and that connection, and we just tune in. Now, do we reschedule, or am I just not the right medium for these people? Do we send them to another medium? What do we do? You just ask in the moment, because every connection is going to be unique.
Yeah. I've had an experience. I had it this week where I have this one young woman who comes into me pretty regularly, and
From
she'll have us. Yes. And she'll have me pull cards for her mom. And I'll put that's in the morning, and I'll pull a card. And sometimes I forget to send it to her mom at that time. And that this past week, I sat down and I went, oh, I forgot to send this to my friend. And so I sent it to her. And one of the things it said was it was synchronicity. And so I sent her the card, and because I had waited, she had all these synchronicities that had happened in the past 24 hours that led up to me sending it to her. So I trust it happens when it's supposed to happen.
That's right. So the spirit world was even showing you that the delay was meant to be.
For sure.
I love it. This is part of the journey, everybody. I hope you're experiencing it too, that when you get in the flow, you see the perfection and the timing of everything. Yeah. Christy, I want to share with everybody that we just traveled from our home in Idaho back to our home in South Carolina just 2 days ago. And our luggage didn't make it with us. We had a layover in Chicago. We missed the flight due to weather. And we could see with the air tags, our luggage sitting. We could see it was in Chicago. We get on the plane, it is still in Chicago. And then we got home, and it was still in Chicago. We spent the night. We had to spend the night in Chicago. And I said, oh my God, I have no makeup. I have nothing to do with my hair. I'm just going to sleep in my makeup so I don't look totally awful the next morning. And so go without makeup, get on the plane in the same clothes we wore. But short story, it finally showed up at midnight the next day at our house. And I told our staff meeting, you were there, Christy, I told everybody it was a blessing because we didn't have to lug it to the hotel in Chicago in between. We didn't have to pick it up when we got to South Carolina. We just went straight to the car, and it was delivered to our doorstep. And I don't know who it was said, Suzanne, you're the only one that could find the blessing in that. But see, that's part of living the awakened way, everybody. Right, Christy? We learn to trust everything instead of saying, oh my God, I didn't have this and that. It was like, well, what's the phrase, everybody? Ready?
Isn't that interesting?
Right? It was an isn't that interesting experience, and it all turned out well. All right, more questions.
Okay, here's the next one from Michelle. When humans transition and some spirits communicate right away, why can some communicate right away, but others can't?
A big factor is like Brenda here, my friend who passed, who's right here saying, just like me, I went to the head of the class. Brenda had been studying mediumship. She had been on the spiritual path. She knew there was an afterlife. And when she crossed, there was zero adjustment. Boy, she had learned, most importantly, the guide said, don't forget us. She had learned to love herself. She knew she was a soul. The very first week that I met her, my guides channeled for her and gave her a mantra, I am free. Free of the ego. She wasn't there when she got that, but she used that mantra. And when she passed, she was free of the story. So, meaning she knew she was playing a role as Brenda Baker. She knew she passed from cancer. She knew she left behind a son, et cetera, et cetera. But when she crossed, she knew that she was also a soul. And because she'd studied mediumship, she was immediately connecting with all the people she knew could sense her. She came to me within hours. In fact, I just handled the boa that's told the story of Brenda in the boa. I believe it's in my book, The Awakened Way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you want my most astounding evidence beyond the story of Wolf and Wolf's message of proof that we cross the veil and it's just shedding this body. Read in the first couple chapters or the introduction to The Awakened Way. It's Brenda's story with the boa. So that's somebody who was communicating immediately. Contrast that with my mother, who, even though she's the mother of a medium, that was unexpected for me and certainly for her. She just could not wrap her head around a greater reality. She had no spirituality, no religion, and she just had a hard time adjusting. So it took her a while to communicate. I went to her across the veil. Christy, I don't know if you've ever heard this story, but it was like she was still unconscious across the veil, just resting in like a healing place. The same way I'd seen her in hospice, unconscious. She was still just like, I'm not ready to wake up yet. So there's going to be a spectrum, and it's all going to depend on the soul's journey for each being, whether they can communicate right away or not.
I've heard that a number of times, mediums talking about certain souls going to a healing place where they, I guess, receive the healing they need before they continue on.
Yeah, I've especially seen that with people who complete suicide. They're met with love, but they pass by suicide because they had such challenges before they passed, and they need that healing, and they need beautiful, loving souls to say, okay, let's take a look at all this and put it in perspective. Yeah.
Okay, here's the next question. I feel like my son in spirit piggybacks onto other readings during gallery readings. Am I right about this?
Okay. In her particular case, yes, because they're saying that you would find that he was a lively soul, a spirit person, lively person who liked to interact with people, did like to get his own way at times, but did it in a sweet way. So he's not doing it in a pushy way. And the ones he piggybacks with don't mind allowing it because it gets messages through. So that's a specific message for you, Mom. Reach out to me through my website and you can validate that with me. But he's just doing fine, by the way. But what often happens in gallery readings, or what we call public demonstrations of mediumship, is that there are people that have certain similarities that are across the veil. They might have passed the same way, or they had the same characteristics, and they do come together, but the message speaks to different people because many people need to hear that same message. So your loved one is there. It's principally the one the medium's connecting with. But if you know in your heart, oh, that message is for me too, your loved one is standing with you, imbuing you with that. This is for me, Mom, or this is for me, for your partner or your sibling, so that you know that message is really that other person's loved one. But listen, this is for you too. You've probably had that happen a lot, huh?
I have seen it so many times. I have seen so many gallery readings and been to meetings in person. And it is just amazing how the kids work together to do, like you said, like to get messages through to as many people as possible. And that's why it's often said a reading for one is a reading for everyone. But I was on a gallery reading the other night, and a number of kids that I know, not personally in the body, but personally in spirit now, whose parents I'm friends with, like Patty Hart and the Spruills. A number of these kids were coming through, and I could see how they were all working together to bring in these other children and to get these messages to everybody. It was just beautiful.
Yeah. So Christy's talking about meetings of helping parents heal. So this is a group where all of the members have children across the veil. And we have absolute evidence that when we have meetings here in the physical, our kids are all meeting with us. But for those of you who don't have a child across the veil, just know that the friends you have here, even if you met them after your loved one, whatever the relationship between you is, a partner, mom and dad, whatever, siblings, when you meet someone new, their soul family now will meet your soul family. So people that you might not have known before they pass, they're still meeting across the veil because of that web of connections. Oh, I got goosebumps. So
That's
Pretty
happened to me a lot. The kids are connecting and connecting me with the parents. Happens all the time.
Yeah, it's that web. Speaking of the web, Wolf's message, the tour is just about finished. I have one more screening to do that I can't do in person, so I'm doing it online with a group in Baton Rouge tomorrow, I think, or very soon, very soon. But you can still watch Wolf's message on demand. We talk about the web of connections there. That's why I'm bringing it up now at wolfsmessage.com. I'll share some slides later with some of the ways we can stay connected and help you on your journey. But don't miss Wolf's message for proof of the fact that we are souls and part of one big web.
All right. Our next question is from Brenda. If
Speaking of Brenda.
Hey, Brenda. If all reincarnations are happening simultaneously, what is the ultimate goal?
Yes, because there is no time across the veil, the guides say. They are happening simultaneously, and yet it unfolds within your reality in a linear fashion. So do not blow your circuits by trying to figure out how history works. Just know that in this reality, the way the rules work is that you will have what you know as past lives, current lives, and future lives. Now, what is the actual question that they didn't even answer there?
I think well, I've gone past it now. I think they're asking, like, they also say, do we eventually dissolve into the one, or is it endless?
Oh, and what's the point? I remember that. So my filter's getting in the way here. The point is always to shine the light of the soul as brightly as possible. When in a body and even without a body, you are a channel for the life force. The more you receive, the more you can give. The more you give, the more you receive. That is your purpose. The more you shine your light through service, through love, the more you will feel the connection with all that is and realize that, yes, you dissolve into the oneness moment by moment. And yet, when you sit as the one and know this pure joy and pure bliss, there comes a time when you wish to experience life in time so that you can shine upon others and receive their blessings as well. Do you see that it is not a permanent state of oneness, but a constant and ongoing enfolding and unfolding of love? Yeah.
Yeah, sit with that one.
Yeah. So people have a lot of fear about dissolving into nothingness. You won't fear it when you understand that we are no thing right now. We are love in full expression. That's life, love in full expression. And love decides to experience life through you and through me. And yet at this same time, we already are the oneness, the no thingness. It's both.
That's right.
And it takes away all the fear. That's the I am free that Brenda got to experience. No fear of dying, no fear of dissolving into nothingness, because we know that's pure bliss and pure joy. And yet we can come back here and experience the pain and the chaos. But when you bring back that awareness of who we are, we don't suffer longer than necessary from that. We grow from that. Yeah. Just answered a few questions right there.
No doubt. Okay, this is from Green Beans. If there is someone who we have had a particularly difficult experience with in one lifetime, do we as a soul have the choice to never interplay with that soul ever again?
Let us put this into perspective, the guides say. You would be better suited to say, do we have the choice to never interact with that person again? For the soul is already whole, complete, and beautiful, and you are quite enjoying your relationship soul to soul. just like those two stars that dance and twinkle together. What you are truly asking is, do we have to reenact those difficult relationships and feel that pain again? And we wish to assure you that, yes, beautiful soul, you would make a choice to do so. For once you are beyond the story, which you can choose to do at this time without dying first, you see the growth that ensues from the pain and the tension and the challenges. So when you can achieve that higher perspective whilst experiencing the tension and realize, oh, this is my daily opportunity to choose to see from the soul's perspective, why then you will eagerly jump back into a body and say, bring it on, but perhaps in different form this time, so that we can throw a few other wrenches into the mix. Huh. Oh, that's so cool. Boy. Yeah. So who pushes your buttons now? This was one of the first teachings Sanaya ever gave me years ago, that the ones who push your buttons are your greatest teachers. And I just got from Spirit the other day, they said, we just said this. Every day you're going to get an opportunity to say, oh, this is my chance to let the soul shine. Every day there's one big one. So get excited. This is going to sound so perverse, but get excited, because let's set the intention together, everybody, right now. Okay. I know that something's going to happen to me every day that might set me on edge or make me clench. But I'm setting the intention now that my soul will shine through that enough that I recognize this is my daily one, my daily moment to say, ha, and turn tables, see from the soul's perspective, and respond from the soul. I hear like a ding, ding, ding when that happens. And it's just been the last few days. And it's in the last 3 days, it's been with Ty, my husband. He doesn't know it, but it's just something that he says that normally I just, and I've learned to not respond snarky most of the time. But now I'm seeing it as, oh, this is my daily opportunity. And I just change it and try to ask the guides to show me, what's an even higher way to respond than even I would have last week? So it's like losing the luggage, right? Instead of saying, doggone, there they go again, we say, oh, this is the daily big soul growth moment. So you'll have homework now, right? Look for those soul growth moments, SGM. We just have a new acronym. And you can check that one off, but there's probably going to be more than one every day, but there'll be a biggie every day. And when you go to bed at night, when you go through your gratitude list, you all do that, right? With a gratitude buddy, you can now say, oh yeah, and that my soul's growth moment was this, and I did pretty well. I chose well. Yay. And that's cumulative, by the way. Can you imagine if we start seeing our challenges that way every day? How will you be in a year? And how would you be in a year if you just keep being very human?
One of the things I learned early on after Tess passed was to look at certain challenges in my life and just ask the question, what can I learn from this? And that was definitely a soul perspective shift for me.
Definitely.
And very helpful.
Very nice. Let's take a breath here. I did want to share a couple of slides with everybody. I didn't update them because we just moved back here and we have a little chaos going on in this household, but I wanted to meet with all of you today. So I'm going to bring up a few slides, and some of them are outdated, so we'll just talk about them. Like this one. I gave the Forgotten Center workshop last month, but it's going to be an on-demand course by the end of this month. And when somebody asked earlier, are you going to be combining the Hara method with the Bless Me method? Yes, we taught the Hara method in this workshop. But here's the thing. This Tuesday, 2 nights from now, if you're watching live or watching tomorrow, November 4th, 1 month after the Hara workshop, November 4th, 2025, my special edition of the Monthly Connection is going on at 8 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to go longer than the normal 2 hours because I'm sharing my healing journey that brought me to the Hara method. And it applies to all of us because I've learned tools from Spirit about healing. So healing from pain at any level is the subject for Tuesday night. And we're going to talk about that Hara method a bit. But anytime we can clear out anything that's causing us pain or illness or suffering, our connection with spirit deepens. So to register for that, go to SuzanneGiesemann.com and scroll down just under the banner. You'll see the monthly connection, November 4th. Definitely going to be a powerful session. Let's see what else. If your questions are not answered today in this session, this episode, you can go to SuzanneGiesemann.com/your questions answered and ask our virtual librarian, Grace, your question, and you will get answers very similar to what I or Sanaya would answer, because it's only searching 15 years of teaching from me and Sanaya. It's a really cool tool, so give it a try. It's absolutely free. We don't collect your emails. It's just our gift to you. The Awaken Way Cruise, people are signing up so beautifully. We have a Facebook group for those of you who've already registered to go with me next September to Spain and Portugal and Morocco. We're going to have 14 hours of workshop and gathering and parties. I've made sure I'm going to have a face-to-face with every single person that goes with me on that cruise when I give you a little gift I'm taking, because it's very important for me to have at least an eye-to-eye, I see you moment with everybody. So you can also find out about the cruise right there under my banner. Do you know about our free Awaken Way app? I sure hope so. Daily inspiration from my guides and all kinds of nice tools are free on the menu. The Wolf's Message tour is over, but you can still go to wolfsmessage.com and check out that video on demand. My 3 latest books here are just so full of tools for how you can connect across the veil. I have another one coming out already next year from Hay House called Always Connected. So Spirit is just cranking out the material for all of us, because the best way to learn about the afterlife is educate yourself, then experience it for yourself, and engage for yourself, like you're doing right now with this podcast. So if you haven't already subscribed, we have lots of good stuff coming up. Yay.
All right. It's
Including
exciting.
now. Back. Yeah. Good stuff.
I'm really looking forward to Tuesday night's monthly connection.
Yeah, it's usually we have a variety of topics, whatever Spirit has taught me the last month. We've done these every year for 7 years, every month, and it's the latest teaching from Spirit. But this is the latest teaching, but it's so profound that it's one topic: how to heal from pain. And Christy, you and I were talking earlier, it has taken me to a new level. You guys, I don't normally channel live in these podcasts, and you're seeing it happen. So that kind of healing is possible for all of us. I can give you the shortcuts so you don't have to, hopefully, you don't have to go through what I went through, but Spirit says, but don't forget, you grow from your pain, so we can mitigate it and make sure we grow from it. They say therein lies the difference, that many people suffer and experience pain, but do not grow from it and continue suffering year after year. And many take the pain to the grave, which dissolves instantly, of course, once you no longer have a body. But we wish to help you experience what the soul came here to do, which is to shine ever brightly. And it is very difficult to shine whilst in the midst of pain. And so we hope you will join us, for this teaching does come directly from Spirit through Suzanne, the channel. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, that reminds me, we had some people write in with questions before today, and it reminded me of one that I had highlighted, and it says, do our ancestors on the other side benefit from our extensive healing efforts on ourselves here in this earth life?
Do they ever, the guide said, most assuredly. For recall, across the veil, all is connected beyond time and space, all our souls. And so there are certain storylines that can reach completion. Interesting. Due to your efforts. And when you cross, you will come face to face with the souls of your ancestors, and you will see how you helped to change the story, even though you feel it was already written. Oh. We did learn, interestingly, one of my followers had a son who was going through a psychotic break. And he found out through a session with Gregory Coleman, who's been on my podcast, that it was ancestral trauma. And indeed, the family has generations of trauma from the Holocaust. And so the son wasn't open to the healing, but the dad had the healing and went back and worked on healing for the ancestors, and the son recovered.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all connected. So we help generations past and future. Mhm.
I love thinking about that. Here's one more question that was sent in. This is from Patty. How best can we provide support or comfort to friends who are preparing for a transition after a long battle with illness?
Just love them with all your heart. Test and see, the guides say, if they are open to talking about the afterlife and what you know. And that one, they say, tread gently, but mostly assuage their fears. Help them get rid of the fears. And they said that most humans can sense when you are giving them pablum, just when you're just saying words just to make them feel good. But when you come from the heart with the absolute certainty that there is more, that they will be met with love, that they will still be able to interact with us here and see us here, that will provide much comfort. So comfort, reassurance, and love.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Christy, I received an email from someone that wanted me to answer a question today, and I didn't know if I would or not, but the guides are saying, yes, it is most important. And this person wrote in that they usually experience a very calm life, that they're usually very happy. They live in an area where there's no strife, but recent political events in the US have brought strife to her neighborhood, to people around her. I'm not going to give specifics because we have a worldwide audience and this would apply to all of us. And she says she's actually witnessing cruelty and things that truly upset her, and she doesn't know how to deal with that. And spirit, let me just shift a bit here. Yeah. When events occur in what you would call your backyard, this is the time to truly take action. It is one thing to watch and read your news from afar and feel empathy and feel something must be done. But when something is literally in your face, now is the time to take action, but always from the heart. Do not throw oil on a fire, but ask within and gather those of like mind what you can do from the heart to get attention, for it is happening for a reason around you. This is how you know how to act. You have chosen to live where you live, when you live, and with whom you live for a reason. There are no accidents at all. Therefore, when you look at the news, you see so many cases of issues to which you could focus your attention, and you say, how can I make a difference? You can make a difference by looking around you and seeing what is in your face. What can you directly impact? Where you see cruelty, bring in the heart and ask Spirit to guide you how to be a shining light where there is darkness. Okay.
That's beautiful. I'm glad you brought that up because there have been a number of questions that people have sent in regarding the current climate and how do you handle it, and how do you handle these feelings that we have when we have to witness these things?
They're also adding, don't feel that means you ignore something because it's happening halfway around the world. Send a check to refugee issues, that type of thing. When you can take action, serve. And what happens to one person really does affect all of us because of that interconnection. But if something's right here and you can't ignore it, there's a reason. So don't ignore it.
Wonderful. It's great advice for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is from Carrie. She says, what do the guides say about being stuck and helping, and what we can do to align ourselves with our purpose again?
This is so great because just yesterday, Christy, as you know, I interviewed Sue Frederick, a wonderful intuitive and master numerologist. And when is that going to air? Next Sunday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So tune in next Sunday. She's going to show you a way to truly identify your soul's Purpose. It's the number one question people ask spiritual teachers. What is my purpose? So you've got to tune in next Sunday. She'll show you that. And this will absolutely refuel your sense of purpose. And when you feel stuck, for anyone, sit in the silence, awakening through silence. That special event we're doing December 21st. Remember? In the meantime, set aside time to sit quietly. We just put online my Sip of the Divine in a short version. There was a 10-minute version before, but now go search on YouTube after the show, Sip of the Divine, and it's just cut down to a 1-minute intro, then the 3-minute Sip of the Divine. And use that time of silence. Who can't spare 4 minutes to ask, why am I stuck? You already know, actually. You can look around and see what causes you to clench. Why is that causing you to clench? Why is it coming up in your life now? I'm going to show you Tuesday night in the Monthly Connection, November 4th, how we get stuck and how to get unstuck. And I would like to model for you how I've learned to connect the dots, to ask spirit, to see things on multiple levels, to appreciate the stuckness, to know it means there's a breakthrough coming, everybody. Oh my goodness. And there's no end to the growth. I mean, where I am right now, this new level, I'm so thrilled. And the guides are saying right now, yes, and you will level out here for a while to get used to this, and then we'll go up again. Every one of us goes up that ladder, and it's awesome.
It is awesome. The upward spiral. That's what I always get shown, the upward spiral.
That's it. That's our soul's trajectory while in a body here, ever onward, ever upward. And if you miss something in one cycle, you'll learn about cycles from Sue Frederick next Sunday, the 9th. If you miss something one go around, you'll catch the next go around, whether that's this month, every 9 years, or every 9 lives, right? Yeah. Let me just connect with all of you right now. I just love the chance to connect with you live like this. I love that Christy's here doing this with me. I love my team of helpers. You know, I have 9 assistants now because we have our fingers in so many pies, and so many of you reach out to us. We love our Awaken Way community. That's all of you. Do you feel this love? Do you feel the sense of community? I know it's why so many people come back every Sunday live, because this is our church, right? This is it. It's all about love and connection and growing together, even though many of you came to this because you're hurting. We're here to help you experience the hurt and grow from it.
That's right.
Yeah. And it doesn't guarantee us that we're not going to hurt again, but we'll grow from that too.
That's right. And I've had an experience recently, and you talk about going in circles and back around, bringing back up some stuff for me. And I was asking, why is this happening? Why do I have to go back to this again? And I was told, so that you can see how much you've grown and how you look at it so differently now. And it's true.
Wow. And I got to tell you, guys, I won't go into details, but Christy Majors has had just about the worst trauma any human could suffer. And she will break into tears at a heartbeat. She's carrying that. And yet at the same time, she's broken through to this astounding connection with spirit. She sees them. They come to her unbidden. They came to her. Susan, may I tell them?
Yeah.
Yeah. This morning, Susan Wolf and Jim Spruill, our director of Wolf's Message, his son Dakota, came to her sitting there in her bedroom to tell her about the time change. We had a time change here in the United States.
And we don't change time in Arizona. So in my head, I was still thinking that I had to be ready at 9 o'clock when it was actually 10 o'clock. So they let me know that. That was awesome.
Yeah. And this is the kind of relationship that everybody, all of us can nurture as we experience our pain and grow from it and clear it out after feeling it and mining it for all it's worth. And the soul knows we're okay no matter what. People don't want to hear that. All is well no matter what. But it's the duality of being a human and a soul at the same time. When you come to feel your soul and know who you really are, you feel the pain, and yet you know, Christy, tell me if you've felt this, you know that this sucks, but underneath it all, it's okay.
I do now, for sure. In the beginning, I can't say that was true, but as I've grown, I definitely have that certainty.
Yeah. And that's key, what you just said there. Going through what you did with your daughter, it's very hard to feel a connection. So everybody, if you're in the midst of grief right now, you hang in there and you hang out with people who get it and let them nurture
Yes.
you and nurture yourselves, and it will unfold as it's meant to for you, as your soul pokes through.
Yeah, you're very often you'll find that people will fall away from you, but the people that you need will come into your life, and you find when you find those people that you can connect with, like I did with the people in Helping Parents Heal, that makes all the difference in the world. So you have your Awakened Way community here, and I would say that these are your people now.
I'm gonna out myself here, Christy, and you may find this amusing because we didn't talk about it in the interview with Sue Frederick that airs November 9th. But she did a reading for me before the podcast, so I would really experience her amazing work. And we just met face to face when I did the Wolf's Message screening in Phoenix a couple weeks ago, and we had a lovely connection there. But prior to the reading, we both admitted that the first time we met in 2013, there was friction. We didn't talk about it, neither one of us, but neither one of us we didn't resonate with each other at all. And we felt it, and we kind of went our own ways. And I was 2013, I was not where I am now spiritually. And I was, judging, and she judged me, and we felt it. And it's so beautiful because of that growth. Now it's just like, oh my God, I love her so much. And it's beautiful to see that any relationship can go like that. And so you do grow to know those souls that you're meant to be with, and those who are not going to help you on your journey, like you said, Christy, will naturally fall away. And that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question is from Diane. It says, I know we have exit plans for our departure from Earth. Are there any accidental or unexpected passings?
Spirit says, from your human's perspective, you would consider it accidental, for it appears that one came out of nowhere and interacted. Oh boy, Christy, you'd understand that. And, okay, Spirit. However, okay, somebody just came in our house and distracted me, and the dogs are growling at our door. Okay, I know what that's all about. Okay, let's get back, because this is an important question. But there are no accidents at the level of the soul. When it is seen that the free will choice of one human will result in an interaction with another that may result in the passing of that soul from the body, if it is an exit point, if it will result in greater love and peace and growth on either side of the veil, it is allowed. And therefore, it is not an accident. Do you understand? That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We have a whole bunch of food downstairs, and we're giving it to a food pantry, and the people just showed up to pick it up. I know that's what's happening. So our little Rusty's having a fit. He's like, why are people in my house? Okay. But I don't want to quit yet. I wanted to say hi and give these people a hug, but I want to keep going, so they'll understand.
Okay. So we'll keep going. And this is a question about guardian angels, and Sue will talk about angels in her interview next week.
Christy, you have to, I want to make sure that Ty sees there's two different places where the food is stored.
Okay.
I'm going to make you full screen, and I'm going to let you tune into spirit and talk about something for a second. Okay.
Okay. Well, I guess the first thing I'm going to tell everyone is to be sure and check out Suzanne's YouTube channel. We put out new videos every week on Thursday and Sunday, and she has a humongous library of just about anything that you are interested in learning about. We have playlists, and one of the things that's really popular is Suzanne's meditations. And I also want to mention the video that we just put out, the new Bless Me Method video. Was it? No, 3-minute meditation. That we have the audio version. You're muted. We have the audio version. So if you want to get just the audio version of that, you can get that. But be sure you subscribe and like Suzanne's YouTube channel so that you don't miss any of our new videos.
That was the Sip of the Divine. You're right.
Audio. Sip of the Divine. There we go.
I just got the yes, ma'am. I've got it from Ty. Okay. Thank you, Chrissy. That was great. Yeah.
All right. So here's our question. How many guardian angels can a person have?
How many angels can fit on the head of a pin? The guides just said. Oh, wow. Okay. Whew. When you realize who you are as joy in expression, as source being you, and you realize the converse of that you are this source, that the guardian angels you are asking for are you at the deepest level, why then you need no angels. But whilst in a body, when you forget, we will send you as many as you wish. Do ask for them to help you. For this is the beginning of the journey when you realize I have help. Assistance is here for me. So do ask for that assistance. It will come in many forms, not just guardian angels, but angels in human form. They are all heaven sent, for all there is joy, love, source.
I love that. And I love the thought of angels coming in human form. You know, my family has these stories that are told over and over again of several different experiences. One was when someone was in a wreck and this man showed up out of nowhere to help them on this lone highway. Another time was when a family member was hurt. Another person appeared out of nowhere to comfort my sister. It's just such a comforting idea to think that it's not just on a spiritual level, that an actual physical form can be there to help us too.
Yeah, because we are all spirit. Yeah. And the more these experiences happen and we share them with people, don't be afraid of what other people will think when you share your NOEs, your no other explanation moments. We all have them. And it builds our trust and our knowing that these things happen to show us we're not alone and who we really are. That's the journey. The more we know this, the more we say, hey, if I'm here as a soul to shine and this is real, how am I doing? You know, I'm going to do this some more.
Yeah.
Cool. Good one. Let's do a couple more.
Okay. This is from Scott. If we are on a learning journey here on Earth, why is it that we cannot remember everything we've experienced and the people who have drifted throughout our lifetime?
Okay. Do you see this lip? It just keeps twitching on me here. They're showing me that the human body is designed to have a limited focus. There's only so much we can focus on at a time because what is occurring here now is your growth opportunity. And so you're allowed to see certain memories. Oh, yeah. So the energy is very high. That's why I'm stuttering. The Tuesday night monthly connection, I'm going to show you how certain memories that were suppressed came out as a result of the physical, very bad physical pain I was feeling, that I had completely forgotten them. But because of the pain, now I saw it and was able to release that. So if we remembered everything at once, where's the learning? It's just, it seems so perverse when we're here, but that filter serves a purpose.
So, great. This was written in, and the question is, are guide groups aware of each other? Like you have Sanaya. I know Lee Smith. I was actually listening to him this morning. He has the Z's.
Yeah.
You know, there's
Lee, it's not
Lee Harris. Lee Harris.
Yeah.
Lee Harris has the Z's. Do the guides know each other?
We are all one. We are all one. You give us different names. We embody different stories for the purpose. And so elements of Sanaya will be elements of the Z, which will be elements of Abraham and elements of your own groups. Call us what you will, but call us love.
Yeah.
I think that's a good note to end on. I think a 1-hour podcast is just right?
It is. There's one question I do want you. It was one of the first questions from Nicola. She says, "Dear Sanaya, if you could only give us one message today, what would it be?"
Listen, and listen carefully. We are talking to you. We, your guides, we, the one voice that whispers at times and shouts at others. You are so very loved. When you truly understand this and know that it comes because you are love in full expression itself, then you will no longer have any questions. Then you will want to shout from the roofs. Hear this, all of you. We are love. May we learn to love each other as we love ourselves and love our source. For this is what makes the world go around. Listen carefully, and then be the voice of spirit, carrying this message forward as you, the soul, came here to do. See, everybody, Christy listened. The voice in her said, "No, Suzanne, we're not done. We're going to end with this one." How beautiful is that? Wow. Sending so much love to all of you. Christy, you're just awesome. Thank you. Thank you,
You
Ted.
are too. I'm so glad to be a part of this community, and I just feel the love. I just bask in it the rest of the day.
Yeah, that's it. We're going to all be going. I hope you all feel it, because every time I channel Sanaya, they promise me there is a transmission. So if you can't understand why you were drawn to this, but you're feeling uplifted, that's why you followed your soul. So thank you all for being part of our Awake and Wake community. We love you all so much. Hope to see you Tuesday night at the Monthly Connection, and midweek with one of our new videos from Christy, and next Sunday with Sue Frederick, and onward and onward. And next month we'll do that live meditation together. Okay. Love to all. Go out and have a great week. Bye-bye.
Bye.